Okay, so I really want to talk about this because a lot of people think they're not connected to BDSM, but the reality is BDSM is a microcosm of society. It's a microcosm of society in action. So I want to make this very clear because a lot of people try to push away and be like, that has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. If you think that the only DOMs exist in BDSM, I am so sorry to alarm you, but no. Okay, you're dealing with DOMs out there all over the place. You're dealing with um, the overt DOM, just the DOM as is, or you're dealing with what I call the covert DOM. Okay, so a covert DOM is someone who other people, like if you're in BDSM, it's called topping from the bottom, meaning like someone is pretending to be submissive, but they're actually dominating someone. And so covert DOMs are very, it's like dealing with covert, or I think the other term that I've heard from Lee Hammock. If you haven't heard of him, he is a narcissist who talks about um, he educates people on the different tactics of an unmanaged narcissist. And so he has these amazing podcasts and stuff like that, but he talks about the vulnerable narcissist, which is the covert narcissist. I say unmanaged narcissist because I'm not here to um, what's that word? But for lack of a better word, because I can't brain right now, but I'm not here to shame people with NPD, because there are people with NPD who do their work, which is narcissistic personality disorder, and and that shit comes from trauma as well. But there are people who do their work, but the people who don't do their work are very dangerous. Yeah, but I've been around too many of them, unfortunately, including my ex, and who leaned towards psychopathic behavior. So it was, and here's the thing: he did a lot of shaming and all this other stuff, and he tried to shame me for my past of BDSM, and he shut down my conversation of BDSM. In reality, the relationship with him turned out to be the most intensive BDSM relationship I've ever had. Why? Because he was covertly dominating. He had this whole long spew of how against BDSM he was and how he was never a part of it, and then would contradict himself because then they would say that he would. So if you're new to the channel, I am a former pro and lifestyle dom of 13 years, and I'm also a DID system. We're a DID system. We have dissociative identity disorder because of surviving child trafficking. So my ex is also a DID system, and his system was extremely abusive, and they were heavily into BDSM, and it was so hard to find, and it was very it was very insidious because he was hiding as someone who was better than people in BDSM, right? So this is what I'm telling you. You don't have to actively, like these people, they don't have to actively title themselves as BDSM. A lot of them can act like I'm so above BDSM when they actually are covert, and you're dealing with covert domination. And so um, it's BDSM exists beyond the label, and again, it's a microcosm of society itself. The aspects of BDSM exist globally around the world. They're just not under the title. So if you think you're not touched by BDSM, I am so sorry to tell you, you are. You have been from the start. It's just not carrying the name. So when people look at BDSM and they're so horrified, and I'm like, yeah, that's an appropriate reaction, but look around you. Look at your family dynamic, look at your work dynamic, look at society and how it exchanges with each other. This is how society operates currently. Domination, the forced submission, all this other stuff. This is real. And so you're touched by it, whether you're in BDSM or not. It does affect you. So even if you stay out of the realm of BDSM, which I hope you do, watch these videos, learn so you can teach yourself what these nuances look like out and about in the world, and you can protect yourself, and you can lay boundaries, and you can pull away from certain people who are very toxic and pretending they're not. And so, that whole statement, methinks they doth protest too much. Yeah, a lot of the people who are so, um I would never do that. And I'm like, but wouldn't you? Haven't you? What aspect in your life are you dominating someone? What aspect in your life do you feel entitled to someone's domination? Look at white supremacy and white privilege. Okay, if you don't think this is an aspect of domination, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think you're not learned. You're not a learned person, and you got to educate yourself. You can, stay here at this channel, get some education. You're getting free education here. I am sharing all this stuff publicly so you can be aware, because at the end of the day, you may be contributing to the BDSM in daily society, in day to day society, and not even recognize it. Or you may be victimized by aspects of this and not even realize it, right? Because there's so much that's normalized. Now, here's the thing, the biggest reason people can get sucked in, well, one is survivors of extreme trauma. There's a lot of female doms have survived heinous attacks, violations, abuse, to the point where they're like, you know what, fuck you, it's your turn now. And so they've surviving patriarchy, and it's what makes things, a bit different. But they're surviving patriarchy, and they've had it, and so it's their way of trying to fight back, or trying to regain some kind of power in a world that just doesn't allot that for women. So in female DOMs, that can come up. Now, in male DOMs, you have different aspects because you have patriarchy. So many of these men feel entitled to treating women like this, or to treating other men this way, or to treating people of any gender this way. So because of patriarchy, so you got a different element there, and it becomes pushed like this. Now, there is a percentage of those men who have survived extreme trauma as well. You cannot, in my perspective, you cannot be a dom without some kind of extreme form of trauma. And for a lot of submissives, or people who identify as submissives, I hate calling people subs, but people who identify as submissives, it's the same. Okay, so there's a lot of traumatized people in BDSM. And when you recognize that, I hope that this brings you to a place of empathy, because there's a lot of people who are just like, ugh, how could you do that? And it's like, the biggest question here is, what happened to the people in BDSM that normalized BDSM and normalized these aspects? Now, even in a personal level, if they had a really good childhood, you can't live in this world without accumulating some form of trauma, including secondary trauma, because we don't treat people well on this planet. We don't. There are aspects where we do, but for the majority, look at how we operate. I mean, look at us in America right now. You really think that there's no such thing as domination unless it's specifically happening in BDSM spaces? The world is a BDSM place. It's a BDSM space. That is why people come to BDSM. It's a microcosm of it. Now, there are things that, it's also an expression of society on an absurd level, but that is how people get sucked in. And people go there for revenge quite often, or to feel like, there's a lot of people who just want to feel some kind of release, or they're trying to balance. People are trying to find a way to balance the shit show that is this fucking world. And there is not a lot of support for that. So they find themselves in a warped sense of creation of balance, it doesn't create balance. BDSM doesn't create balance, but they misconstrue that because they don't have a healthy palate to begin with. Because how the fuck could they in this world? Okay, so before you point the finger at BDSMers and be like, ew, how could you do that? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with this society? Because everybody has an impact on the creation of BDSM. You don't want BDSM, you want BDSM to no longer exist? Hold the people accountable in society. But here we are, we don't. This world is set up to be managed by unmanaged narcissists. It's a world run by DOMs. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how y'all are missing this, but the world is run by DOMs. I so don't be shocked that BDSM exists because it's just an aspect of this world. It is an expression of how this world operates. And in BDSM, people feel so powerless out in this world that they try to find a place where they might feel powerful or they might feel safe. And they incorrectly believe it's BDSM because there's no fucking outlet. There's so much shame in this world. There's a lot of confusion as to what's sexual health and what isn't. And I'm not surprised. This has been existing since before porn, and if you go to our website and you read our blogs on Free from BDSM, I've written a bit of the history. I've started to write it. I'll be writing more. And if you want to support what I'm up to, because I do all of this stuff, I want all this stuff to be available for free. But if you can support us, go to our Ko-fi. It's Kofi, and the link is in our website. Just scroll to the bottom of the page, you'll see on the footer, there's our link to Ko-fi. You can become a monthly patron, and it helps me be able to do this. Also, I'm disabled, and so it helps me be able to create a sustainable income because I can't do regular jobs. So, and I have a bunch of services on there as well if you want to support. But yeah, all of it's available for free. And if you don't have money and you want to support, like, comment, and share to get this information out to more people so that more people can stay safe and that more people can hopefully escape BDSM.